Good morning, everybody. Today is dig a hole and put that big old septic in day, and it's kind of crazy because we have to bury that thing like at least 7 foot deep, and that is the kind of rock that we're dealing with pulling out of where we're going to bury this septic. Look at that. It is massive. And not to mention, this is like several different rocks. That's only one of, I think, 2 or 3 that he has got to pull and get out of there. The crazy thing is that he's already pulled all of that out of that hole. And we're not even done. He's actually come from this side so he can widen the hole because it's still kind of narrow. And he's got to make sure that it fits this whole part here. So this is the kind of rock that we've been dealing with that has made it a little harder to actually get stuff done faster. So that's why my timeline has been thrown off so badly, because you guys, we literally bought a rock. So this is interesting, but it's part of the process and it's fun. That rock is massive. Look at that, you guys. The cool thing about these rocks that he is basically excavating and finding is he's literally putting them in places, and we're strategically placing them so it becomes a natural landscape. So in the end, when all this is done, it's gonna look really awesome. Right now, it just looks like a very huge mess. There's 2 rocks sitting over there he hadn't touched and might not have to, but then there's some in the hole he's got to, and it's just crazy. I mean, it's crazy, guys. For some reason, I think it's because of the amount of rock and the depth we have to dig to get the septic in, because we gotta have it buried. You can't have that above ground, at least not this one. And especially won't be to code if it's not above, if it is above ground here. But it's kind of crazy because he wanted to take care of the septic today, and eventually we'll get to our pier holes. It looks like a big hot mess now, and we'll have to redraw out our piers again because he's run over some. But at the end of the week, hopefully this construction site will look a little bit more put together, and I'll keep you posted on that. Oh, and last time, the last video I showed, I mentioned that we would have that water tank all put in. Well, we got the ground level, we got our box put in for the foundation, and as you can see, it's in pretty good now, but the water tank's still sitting over there, and that's because we got to get pea gravel to put inside this box so that it also keeps it level, and then we can put the tank in, and then we fill it with water. So the tank probably won't be done until next week. So we were talking about the pea gravel that's got to go in there. But again, that pea gravel may not go in there until next week because we really want to take care of the septic and get it down so he can reverse engineer the piping is pretty much what we're doing, because the cabin is not here yet. It's still been delayed. He's been waiting on windows and doors for 3 months. You guys, we started this process in April, and it still looks the way it looks, and we're in July. I'm a little bit stressed out about that because all of the proceeds of the house has gone into everything that we've done, including the rental and the living expenses. So I'm getting a little worried, but at the same time, I know we can do this. We've taken this on because we can do it. We knew it was a challenge, so we'll get through it. We'll get through it. But it's going to be touch and go because we still have our solar, which is going to be 10 grand minimum. Yeah. And but it's okay, because once we pay it out now, we will be 100% off the grid, which is our goal. We don't want to be on grid at all. And we have done a lot of different things to change that up a bit so we're not pulling too much power and things like that. And that's going to be more to come as we do the interior part of the cabin. Once we get it put up, we'll show you what the process of what it is for us to actually get it put up, because it is just the 2 of us and I'm not that strong, so we'll see how that goes. But then when we get to the interior, that's the fun part. That's where I'm going to be all excited, because I get to do staining of the wood and we get to put things in the house. And we've changed things around so that we're not pulling a whole lot of electricity. So instead of doing a regular stove, which pulls 220, or just pulls a lot in general, I think it's 110. I don't know. I can't remember anymore. 220, 110. You guys can write down below the comments of how much a stove, a regular traditional stove and oven pull, because I can't remember right now. But what I do know is that instead of cooking on a stove, we're going to do an electric hot plate, which is cool. And then I've got a toaster oven, and I've got like one of those turkey roasters for the deeper stuff. So I'm covered as far as my kitchen things. It's just not going to be like your traditional stove oven set that we had back in the city, which is really actually kind of cool to me, because it is different. It's like camping, but every day of your life. So I'm looking forward to that when all this is said and done. So I will keep you posted on what this looks like. Let me show you the hole real quick so far of what he's got. He's pulled out 3 massive rocks, and there's a lot. We got to go a lot deeper than this. So yeah, it'll be another few hours, I'm sure, and I'll keep you guys posted.